solstice. So right now the moon is at 6.9% illumination in the sign of Libra. We're coming out of the new moon in Virgo, which happened on the second, and that energy is kind of lingering. I feel like that lingers until at least the first quarter moon. So, and that new moon energy also represents like new beginnings, new starts. Going from earth to air is kind of like going from like trying to navigate the material world to really reaching inside and like trying to navigate like your thoughts and organize, kind of what your intentions are with your own future. So there's that. What else? I feel like there was more I was gonna say. It skipped my brain. But yeah, Libra is also represented by the Justice card, which is, all about karmic justice. So, that could be good, it could be bad, depends on, you personally and like what kind of karma you've earned for yourself, right? So let's dive into this and kind of see what exactly that is. And if this reading doesn't resonate with you, I have plenty of other timeless readings, and I will be creating more. So, yes, take it as it resonates. Also, I believe that you found this message for a reason, and there's something in here for you if you have found it. So, there's that. Anywho, let's get on with it. Let's see who you are first. Oh yes, and I would also like to shout out John Parks for that super generous donation to the channel. It was very helpful. I appreciate you. I'm gonna redo that because a bunch of cards fell out. But yeah, so that was the thing that I forgot. Anyway, let's get back to it. Lyrans, strength, courage, and bravery. This is strong Leo energy. Also, it's kind of funny that this came up because this was like a subject of some writing I was doing last night. How oftentimes like there's a paradox, right? Where we view strength as being like, like a tough guy, angry, punching walls, but that's really weakness, real strength that comes from compassion and restraint. So, so when you enter this Lyran's energy, right, this also has a lot to do with like having this strength for restraint, and having like the courage to pursue things that perhaps you otherwise wouldn't have. Jobs, opportunities, things like that. So, yeah. Why do you need strength, courage, and bravery? Let's ask the big questions. We will find out. Perhaps this is the energy that you're currently embodying too, though, it's not necessarily that you need it. That is the energy you're embodying. That just, like, came to me as I said that. I was like, oh, makes sense. So, yeah. Okie dokie. So we have the Six of Cups in reverse. So first, I will tell you what it means in the upright to kind of give you like an understanding on how I perceive it in the reverse. So Six of Cups in the upright represents like people from your past, nostalgia, you know, childhood things, getting in touch with your inner child, having children, you know, those kinds of things. So, with this strength, courage, and bravery, I do see kind of, you know, this is something that you're letting go of, right? Because it requires you to kind of like step into your power to let go of something, you know? Doesn't really require a lot of strength and courage to, you know, like for the inner child stuff, you know? So, that's my perception on it. So, then it's followed up by the Magician, right? The Magician is card number 1, right? The deck actually starts with card 0, but this is card number 1, right? This is the first action after taking that decision to make that leap of faith, right? In the hero's journey, you know, 1 represents like that first step in the cycle, right? And this helps me to kind of clarify the 6 of Cups in reverse. You know, letting go of something from the past, kind of like shutting the door to the past, because the Magician represents like manifesting something new, right? It's, you know, like being very resourceful. All the suits are in this card, you know. He's got the wands, the coins, the cups, swords, you know, the whole thing. All the elements are on his side. And yeah, so it looks like you're pulling the rabbit out of the hat. You're making something out of nothing, right? 1 in numerology also represents newness or new cycle, new beginning. So, you know, releasing the past and really entering into that new cycle is the energy of this reading so far. Yeah, with the 7 of Wands in reverse, perhaps, you know, the past wasn't really open for you to revisit either. Because 7 of Wands represents like open doors of opportunities for you to like walk through, right? And so with that in reverse, it's kind of like the door was closed. There wasn't really an opportunity, so you kind of had to embody that strength, courage, and bravery to pursue this new cycle, right? 2 of Pentacles tells me that there's some indecision here, weighing the pros and cons, kind of going back and forth in your head, like dope-a-doop, which way do I go from here, you know? We've got 1 and 2 and 6 and 7, which tells me that, like, you know, you're in a linear progression in your path, which doesn't always happen. Sometimes people are just jumping all over the board. You know, the hero's journey is not the same for everybody, right? So let's see what this indecision is about. Kind of like, you know, weighing the pros and cons, weighing the odds, looking at different opportunities or whatever. Let's see what that's about. Okay, with the Knight of Cups in reverse, this is in regards to having a change of heart, right? This is pulling back your power from somebody, right? Knight of Cups is like kind of giving that power to somebody, right? The power to hurt you. So, but I feel like you're taking that back, and this is a big decision for you. Especially, you know, with the 6 of Cups in reverse, there's a lot of energy in this release. The Hanged Man in reverse, I'm seeing obstacles being removed for you, right? The things that hold you up in life, the things that hold you back in life, you know? And this is kind of like memento mori, amor fati, you know? It's like, remember you were mortal and love your fate, right? So there's not like really a pressure to perform for you, right? The pressure is to release the things that stand in your way, you know, and this is kind of, You know, that when you let go, and it's like the hardest thing ever, but when you let go, you really liberate yourself, right? Because holding on is just holding on to the imprisonment, holding on to the chains, holding on to the bondage of some kind of connection, you know? And yeah, so like, and I know everybody's like, just let go of the past. And that's not so fucking easy, right? Because it requires some kind of optimism for a future, right? In order to let go of the past. So you have to see a different way in order to get out of that mindset, right? You have to perceive that things could go completely differently for you. Eight of Swords in reverse tells me your blindfold is off, right? Which tells me that this could be about a person. Eight of Swords in reverse is, well, Eight of Swords talks about like something you don't see, right? Something hidden. With this in reverse, it's like you saw something, right? It's like something was revealed to you. You saw somebody's true nature, or you saw the truth of a situation. And this is kind of like, you know, what gets in the way, right, of this Ace of Wands in reverse, right, or of the Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands is in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse is like not really being open to like having a passionate new beginning in that direction. And you might not even like be like, at least in your present, you might not be like fully open to like opening up the doors of your heart yet, right? Like you might feel a little like guarded, a little bit standoffish. It feels like somebody hurt you. With the Nine of Pentacles, I see self-sufficiency. I see that, you know, you kind of have to, or you've had to learn how to kind of navigate on your own after all this, right? So it does kind of feel like a breakup. It could be like a job or friendship or whatever, but it feels personal, right? Six of Cups talks about, Cups is all about emotions, right? It's all about feelings. And so it definitely, and with the Knight of Cups in reverse, you know, this is like kind of having a change of heart about this situation, about this person, you know. And this is where the strength, courage, and bravery comes from in this new beginning, is being able to like be okay by yourself, right? So what's next for you? I see what you're letting go of. Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is releasing codependency, right? Whether it's emotional or physical, it's something valued, right? And yeah, it just feels like there's letting go of this like codependency in this. Okay, well, what happens after that? Based on the trajectory of all the decisions you've made thus far, let's see, you know, because your trajectory can shift from one decision to the next, you know, but based on the current trajectory, what is that looking like? Five of Cups in reverse. This is healing from emotional disappointment. Alright? And if you notice in this card, like, his whole body is directed towards all these cups that are poured out, right? All the cups that have left him, where his disappointment lies. And he's got his back kind of turned to these two cups that are full behind him that have something for him, right? And with this in reverse, it's kind of like he's switching his direction. Rather than focusing on the loss and disappointment and the defeat, he's like redirecting his focus, and he's like, well, This is what I've got. This is what's fulfilling to me. This is what I have left to build with, right? Or what I have to build with. So, yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse. So you could be dealing with, you know, some financial setbacks at this time. Also, though, the King of Pentacles is always holding on to the pinnacle. The pinnacle doesn't necessarily have to be money. It's something very valued, right? And so that in reverse, it's kind of like this release, letting go of something very valuable. Something that meant a lot, right? And pentacles are like cycles, right? So you're releasing the old, right? Also, thought I should let you guys know, I use the original suit names. I know like each deck likes to be edgy and change it to King of Oysters instead of King of Pentacles or whatever, but I go with the original meaning because that's, you know, I like consistency, okay? So yeah, 9 of Wands. This is wounded, right? This is pain. This is hurt. You've come from a lot of that, right? Kind of like experiencing shit that you never would have done to somebody else. This leaves you guarded, right? Like skeptical and guarded. That's probably where this Two of Pentacles comes into play, because you're like, how could I ever really be open when, you know, I put all my trust into one situation and I was betrayed, or, you know, all that trust was broken. And my advice to you in this situation is that you need to understand that no two people are the same, right? No two experiences are the same. I feel like I say that a lot in my readings, but it's facts. You know, you're not going to have the same experience with, you know, and that's why comparison is really damaging to relationships, because, you know, comparing the present or the future to the past is, you know, kind of like being like, I've already pre-decided who you are, right? Like, I'm not giving you an opportunity to show me otherwise. And so I feel that in your guardedness, you know, leave room for people to be somebody else, right? To be more than, you know, kind of the idea of them that you've made up in your head, right? Or because pain does that to us, you know? Pain gets us in the mindset of like, oh, all dudes are all the same, or all girls are all the same, or all thems are all the same, you know? And it's like, it's not fair, because they're not, you know? Like, literally, no two people are really the same, you know? And I think that's just kind of prejudicial, right? And that prejudice comes from fear, and it comes from pain, and it comes from, you know, that betrayal you felt in the past. And so when you really, you know, you want to give people opportunities to be who they really are, rather than just your first impression or your own decision of who they are, right? Alright, what is your advice at this time? That song just came to mind, that this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, where they're singing, let the sun shine, let the sun shine in. I don't know, but just that line, let the sun shine in, it's kind of like, it's the energy I'm feeling for you. Your advice is 6 of Wands in reverse. I want to clarify that, because 6 of Wands represents like getting acknowledgement or appreciation or whatever, and it's kind of like allow yourself to let go of that. So let me see what that means. Perhaps it means quit giving your energy to something, you know, which that's kind of what it looks like, because the Devil just came out in reverse. The devil represents toxicity, addiction, like obsession, bad things, like the devil can represent like all this stuff, unless it's a Capricorn, because this is Capricorn's card. But what I'm really seeing here with the devil in reverse is like you're being called to really turn your attention and your affection away from that which hurts you, right? That which harms you. Take it as it resonates, Some people have that willpower, some people don't. But it looks like, you're starting off with a really good rhythm of having that willpower. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, this is all guiding you to this rebirth, right? Ten of Swords is that feeling of being defeated. You see this guy just laying here, and all these flamingos, they represent swords, right? And, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you'd see a man lying on the ground with like 10 swords just stabbing him, right? And he's just bleeding out. It's pretty graphic. Yeah, so... and this is less graphic, right? It kind of lightens it up a bit. But with this in reverse, it's like recovering from feeling that defeat, that betrayal, that thing that left you feeling defeated, and I keep saying that. But it feels like you went through something that left you feeling defeated, and you're really being called to like really embody this rebirth energy to allow the new in, right? 10 in numerology represents endings and new beginnings. So that's what's really opening up for you. And it's kind of vague on the new beginning because I feel like there's still decisions to be made in that regard, right? There's still a heavy focus on simply releasing this, and this is such a big step. Right? This is such a big step in your journey. It's life altering. There's so much major arcana in here, right? Really indicating that this is a big step for you. And it's not easy, right? And right now, like, your biggest focus is this healing energy and kind of allowing yourself to progress into your next cycle. All right. Anything else before we close this out? Everything will be alright. Yeah, we've got Three of Swords in reverse. Everything will be fine, dog. You're gonna be okay. Three of Swords in reverse is that healing energy, right? It's like, because Three of Swords is all about that pain, the suffering, the betrayal, third-party situations, cheating, that kind of shit. So, with that in reverse, I see a release of this, right? And really a healing. And it's fucked up and like so necessary about this part of the journey is it requires forgiveness, right? And not like you have to go to the person and be like, yo, I forgive you or whatever. And don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't like re-enter the toxicity back into your life out of like, forgiveness. Forgiveness oftentimes is forgiving yourself. Because you let it happen, right? Because you had your intuition, right? Nothing like this happens without you having some kind of forewarning. Without there being things that kind of happened along the way to let you know it's leading in that direction, right? So you gotta forgive you, because you let it happen. You open doors for it to happen, right? You wanted to see the best in the situation and the person, and they took advantage of that. Hardcore. Bad. Alright? Because they carry that demonic energy inside them, right? With the devil in reverse. And I don't think of demons as like biblical demons, right? I think of demons as like that energy that uses your weakness and your desire to manipulate you, right? And so through addiction, it would be peer pressure, right? Through infidelity, it would be lust, right? Through you catch my drift, right? Like it is the little voice on your shoulder that's like that really pulls you into situations, right? Because somebody can't hurt you like this unintentionally, right? You don't accidentally hurt somebody like this. You were not hurt on accident, okay? They didn't give a fuck. And I'm sorry for my boldness because I know that can be off-putting. However, I don't give a fuck. You're gonna hear it. Like, you're gonna hear the straightforwardness, right? And the only issue here, the only person giving a fuck is you, right? Because you're the one who has to survive this, right? You're the one whose dreams were crushed, whose, worldview was crushed, whose, all that. And so this person did not give a fuck, right? They put themselves in a situation to hurt you, right? It takes a lot to put yourself in a situation like that, right? To really put yourself in a situation of temptation or whatever. And I keep saying that because I feel heavily that that betrayal was fucked up, right? Whatever it was, that betrayal was fucked up. And they put themselves in a situation to allow themselves to hurt you, Because they were only interested in their self-interest, right? That's all they could see, right? They didn't think about the consequences, right? And the consequences, they don't even have to pay, right? You do. You do. That's the fucked up part of this whole thing. The more you relive it in your mind and in your heart, the more that you visit those emotions, the more all that, you're just re-injuring yourself, right? It's like picking a scab. You ain't letting the fucker heal when you're constantly digging on it, right? And I know, because I have one of those that I keep digging at, right? So, like, that's the thing. You have to get into the mindset of, like, something else needs to be more important in your mind or more pressing in your mind, whether that's your career, a hobby, going out with friends, finding your thing, right? Your thing that really pulls you out of this mindset. But laying in a dark room, pining over this and like just reliving it over and over, torturing yourself over and over. This isn't good for you, right? Because at this point, they're not continuing to hurt you. You're continuing to hurt you, right? That's the fucked up part of this whole thing. And that's why you need to forgive yourself. Okay, dokie? Yeah, dude, that's fucking hilarious. I already told you what these cards mean. Without even, like, flipping them. 7 of Swords, lying, cheating, stealing. Somebody really fucked you up, dog. Right? They betrayed your trust. And with the 5 of Wands, they weren't even nice to you. Right? They were fucked up. They would start arguments. They would treat you like crap. They would question you, right? Make you feel like the crazy one. Because that's how narcissists do their shit, dog. Oh my god. They do all this fuck shit. And then they're mean on top of it. Like, dude, my heart goes out to you for this. Like, the shit that you went through was not small. Right? If only you loved yourself more, though, right? To where when those red flags started picking up, where the inconsistencies started happening, you could have dropped that fucker right then, Not physically, but like, you know, figuratively. Um, I know it hurts. Alright? Like, I can feel that in the message here. I know it fucking sucks. I know it's hard to not think about it. I just thought about that movie. It's like an old ass 90s movie. It's called Get Over It. Where there's like this scene towards the end, and you know, the dude's girlfriend had left him for somebody else or whatever, and it's a whole plot of the thing. And he meets this other girl, Kirsten Dunst, and in the like at towards the end, he's having a dream, and Kirsten Dunst is like, maybe it's time you like dream about somebody else, right? And I'm not saying like jump into another bed or into another thing, right? But like you need to change the projection of your thoughts, right? Like because you're just keeping this so energetically open. The more you entertain those thoughts, right? And so you know, finding something else to really fill your heart and your mind with is gonna be super beneficial for you at this time. You know, it could be working out, could be joining martial arts or kickboxing, whatever. Get your aggressions out the right way, you know. Could be starting a new job and just nose diving into it. Could be like getting a new hobby. Going out with friends, you know the gist, right? You know, there are many ways to pull our minds away from these things, right? I don't know, because I've been there, right? And then, like, and I'm telling you, don't do it the hard way. You know, like, don't try to numb it. Like, allow yourself to feel what you gotta feel, but then let it go, you know? Like, once you've cried it out, once you've, you know, written it out or, you know, expressed it in some way, then it's okay to just work on getting on with your life, right? Because that person was ugly, right? And not, maybe not physically, right? But spiritually, they're fucking ugly, okay? Like their intentions, everything they did, this was on purpose, right? Like, that's fucked up. Perhaps they had been betrayed. And then they continue this cycle of hurt, right? Hurt people hurt people. That's a thing. I do like this outcome for you though. I got 10 of Pentacles, right? I'm seeing like a restoration of justice, right? 10-10, endings, new beginnings. 10 of Pentacles represents like building your personal wealth, right? This is also like living a life that you value, right? Living a life that you feel is valuable. Something, you know, investing yourself, your time, your energy into things that really matter to you, right? 10 of Pentacles is like success, abundance, happiness, joy, you know? So just, it's almost like for all the pain and all the suffering and all that shit, the universe owes you a good return, right? That's karma, right? That's a karmic balance. It's the ebb and flow. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, whatever, you know? But in order to balance this shit out, right? Like, in order to create balance in this, the universe owes you big time. And it's going to deliver, right? Things are coming full circle for you. I love that because honestly, what you've been through is fucking bullshit. right? Some of these people, I swear, like, they just don't have any empathy, you know? They just don't fucking care, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Whatever. I'm angry for you, for what you had to go through, right? For being like the punching bag for them. The emotional punching bag. Maybe they had trauma in the past, but then it's like they just projected that onto you, right? They just gave you trauma. Well, you're trying to, like, you know, be a part of their healing, a part of their growth, a part of their expansion, and they're like, here's some trauma. Like, fuck you, you know? I don't know, dude. That's fucked up. They're gonna get it spiritually, too. There are karmic repercussions for the transgressions against another, right? Like, for like taking somebody's vulnerability and smashing it to bits, they're gonna fucking get it. So mote it be, right? You don't even have to sit back and watch it happen, right? They'll be paying. Kali Kalmasa Nasini. It is time to free yourself from what has been. Learn from it, but not allow it to define you or direct the course of your life. Give up your stories about the past. You have outgrown them. Kali consumes mistakes, sins, and negativities. Let her free you now so you can be open to the gift of your life unfolding. Like I just said. Kaliyantra. You have more power to evoke a positive shift in your circumstances than you realize. If anything required for success is lacking, the Divine Mother shall provide it. You are crossing a crucial spiritual threshold. Stay focused, let distractions fall away, and continue to commit yourself to what matters most to your heart. A more beautiful experience awaits you. Like I said, the universe fucking owes you, right? Like, it is in debt to you, right? The universe has to pay its karmic debt to you. If that, like, and you know how we have to pay our karmic debts when we do fuck shit? And that's why it's better to just not do fuck shit. Well, because of what has occurred, it's like you're getting back paid off. You know, all this shit, it's gonna come full fucking circle for you. And I'm happy for you. I'm also like, I wish that didn't happen to you, you know? Anyway, that's what I have for you. Namaste. I love you all, and I will see you later.